Ladies and gentlemen, you know why you're here. You leaders represent a cross-section of the business community's highest-ranked generals in what has become the most important war of our time. We survived the Cold War. We survived the partisan wars. We even survived the wars on terror, on drugs, and on crime, only to now be losing the fight against the most vicious enemy we have ever known: zombies. That's right. Now, for the past several years, we have stood witness to the cataclysmic effect these mindless beasts have had on our industries. Ours was once a harmonious world, wasn't it? Where the punch-in of the clock was a moment of pride, where the mantra of excellence was chanted company-wide, where the closing of deals prompted proud battle cries and new accounts were celebrated with hallway high fives. But soon the high fives became low sighs. Employee battle cries were smothered by migraine skies, the fire in their eyes extinguished by the smoke in their lungs, and the slowing of their pace and the growing of their aches and pains until mistakes from drained, barely awake brains left our revenue take drained by these feeble, deranged, evil remains of people we trained who eventually became zombies. Sniffling, sneezing, coughing, stuffy, aching, unable to sleep zombies. Asthmatic, diabetic, lethargic, hard-headed zombies. Blood pressure, cardiac arrested, infected, and depressed zombies, people. Now, you've all been briefed, and we're still gathering intel, but here is what we know about these creatures so far. Their movement is molasses at best. They are bottle-headed, feet of lead tortoises with cubicle-shaped shells to which they retreat. They wander our businesses like glaciers, with slugs for feet, like erosion to our morale, unable to compete, barely able to speak. Good morning to you, Kimberly. How you feeling today, Bob? Should I come back later, Terry? Now look, this didn't begin with some meteor crash landing or some nuclear contamination, but an airborne infection that we contracted from our own workforce. That's right. Once again, folks, we did it to ourselves. We shoveled work onto our days and siphoned hours from our sleep until we fried our off switches, lost count of our sheep, laying on deprivation chambers beneath Egyptian cloth sheets where we misplaced our memories and left immune systems weak. We were shields down and defenseless against ourselves, against the suicide of our dust-covered scales and our cancerous exhales that left us one puff away from lungs that threatened to rot, one lift away from backs that threatened to pop, one couch away from blood that threatened to clot, one bite away from hearts that threatened to stop. We were a people becoming perpetually convex with an unsustainable body mass index, a population of missing necks, untouchable toes, and tongues that still dared make mythology of nutrition. And with no apple a day keeping them away, the doctors came calling, and with doctors' notes keeping them at bay, employees began to call in, propagating the outbreak of an acute performance virus that we called ABSM1, known to civilians as absenteeism. Now, you all know, in response, a team of our nation's best health advisors, led by renowned virologist Dr. Levi Sedavius, created an experimental antidote for the ABSM1 virus called the Sedavius serum, or Sick Day for short. Immensely successful in its trial run, the Sick Day solution allowed us to do what we always do. We tossed the pill at the problem, went back to business as usual. Started handing out sick days like aspirin. Take two and call in the morning. But we grossly underestimated the addictive nature of this vaccination as droves of our employees began to abuse the medication. And let's be honest, folks, none of us were exempt from this behavior. There's no shame in admitting that we all know the sick day prayer by heart. Now I call in sick to work. I pray the voicemail answers first. If I should lie about these germs, pray my job's there when I return.